In this lecture, Internet tracking methods for suspect identification will be examined. We will discuss IP, MAC, duplicate subscription, credit card, cookies, AVNI drive-through vehicle, patient, Google, Twitter, Skype, Wi-Fi zone query, and real-time mobile phone location tracking. We will also explore the warrant necessary for Internet tracking, general search and seizure warrant, search and seizure warrant for financial account tracking, search and seizure warrant for electronic communications, and communication confirmation data warrant.
Internet tracking investigation.
The movie Untraceable is about a battle of the minds between an untraceable internet serial killer and FBI detectives. KillWithMe.com has gone live. This site, which broadcasts brutal torture and murders, live on the internet, has the whole of the United States either curious or in shock. FBI Special Agent Jennifer Marsh, played by Diane Lane, is assigned to the case together with Agent Griffin, played by Colin Hanks. Despite the warning message that the more they watch, the faster they die, the number of viewers grows exponentially, and each victim dies a more gruesome death than the last. Still, the agents are unable to even track the murderer's IP address. Meanwhile, the culprit continues his killing spree in hiding and is closing in on Jennifer's colleagues and family members as his next victims. Then Jennifer discovers a series of cases known as the rush hour suicides. Like the culprit in this movie, it is more than possible for a criminal to use duplicate IP addresses to hide his location. Using programs that exist today, it is possible to replicate IP addresses almost every 10 seconds. Intelligent crimes that take advantage of this ability are on the rise in both Korea and abroad. We will now explore some methods of Internet tracking to identify the suspects tracked down. First, we need a means of identifying and tracking the suspect. Here we can check the suspect's subscriber information and find traces left behind by the suspect. Subscriber information includes IDs, mobile phone numbers, and financial account information. A suspect can leave behind traces such as IP addresses, call history, transaction history, and CCTV footage. And methods of tracking include email, messenger, bank withdrawals, game IDs, and real-time mobile phone location tracking. Second, in order to apprehend the operator of an internet shopping mall, IDs in cookies from the shopping mall or other websites can be analyzed to identify and apprehend the site operator. Third, to apprehend an article fraud suspect, we can investigate the identity thief and use neighbor search log records to apprehend the suspect. Here, if we know the suspect's ID, most of their subscriber information can be obtained through a communications data request. But there are cases where a search and seizure warrant is required. A request may be filed using a DI value or a resident registration number. We will revisit this topic later. When trying to apprehend a shopping mall operator, it is necessary to check the subscriber data of the domain. For example, it is crucial to check whether the domain address is net or kr. In the DOS command prompt, enter /assert luckyword.net for the server IP and press enter. To track down the person who registered the domain, enter whois.sc luckyword.net to track registration information. If the place of business is known, carry out analysis of the website log and cookies. When tracking financial accounts, a search and seizure warrant for financial account tracking is issued, and transaction details are received at the email address of the lead investigator for analysis. Also, if the suspect is confirmed to have accessed the site with the same IP and MAC address, an additional search and seizure warrant for financial accounts tracking must be requested. If the user's personal details are known, the user's resident registration number may be used to exercise a warrant against the bank that can respond to an information request. Let's find the IP address connected to the server. You will remember the network command /assert that we learned in the basic cybercrime investigation course. Enter /assert, then enter the site address dom.net or the IP address. This way, we can find out what IP band is used for communications. Furthermore, enter the conditional statement, find EST behind netstat_on to show the server currently connected to your computer. Let's explore methods of finding a public IP. In Korea, simply type myIP into the neighbor search engine to see your current public IP. Overseas, you can Google my IP, then click on one of the search results to see your public IP. Overseas, you can Google my IP, then click on one of the search results to see your public IP. Another way is to go to the site myIPaddress.com. Once the IP address has been confirmed, a communications data request form is prepared to identify the subscriber. When a mobile phone is used to query the IP address, the query interval must be set to at least 1 minute. When reallocation data and PC room data are checked, check the latest registration date. Next, we will find out how to query a MAC address. But before we begin, what is MAC address? A MAC address, or Media Access Control Address, is a unique ID assigned to a network interface card. It is also called a physical or hardware address. It is used to identify the hardware manufacturer and for network communications among devices in a network segment. A MAC address generally consists of 6 groups composed of 2 hexadecimal numerals. A network adapter or network interface card is always provided with a MAC address, which is provided in the hardware, generally the read-only memory or the BIOS system. The physical address is stored in the NIC by the manufacturer. Accordingly, this address is also called the burn-in address or the Ethernet hardware address. There are numerous NIC manufacturers. Some examples are Dell, Cisco, and Belkin. What is an OUI? The first 3 sets of hexadecimal numerals in a MAC address identify the manufacturer of the card. This number is called the OUI, or Organization Unique Identifier. The OUI is always the same for NICs manufactured by the same company. For example, let's assume that a network card manufactured by Dell has a physical address. In the address 001422042537, 001422 is the OUI that identifies the card as a Dell device. You may find it interesting that the IEEE registers and assigns all OUIs to manufacturers. Let's get started. The MAC address query tool queries a MAC address or OUI in the MAC address supplier database. The MAC address supplier database consists of a list of MAC addresses of all devices manufactured to date. When a MAC address is found in this database, it is possible to know the original manufacturer of the device, the prefix and suffix of the given MAC address, and the country where the device was manufactured. This information is useful when identifying the manufacturer of a device and the assigned MAC address in the OUI supplier database. How can we find the MAC address then? In Windows, the MAC address can be found by bringing up the command prompt, pressing the Windows key +R, typing in CMD, and pressing Enter. Alternatively, click the Start button, type in CMD, and press the Enter key. In command prompt, type in ipconfig all, and then press Enter. Then find the physical address or HWADDR field to view the MAC address. On macOS, the MAC address can be found by clicking the Apple menu. Usually in the top left corner, clicking System Preferences in the System Preferences menu, clicking View, clicking the icon on the left of Wi-Fi, Ethernet or Airport, then clicking on Advanced in the bottom right corner. In the top menu, click Hardware and find the MAC address field to see the MAC address. To find the MAC address on Linux or Unix, log in with administrator permissions. Type ifconfig and look for ETH0. This is the default Ethernet adapter. Next, find the MAC address. Then find the HWADDR field. The value next to it is the MAC address. To find the MAC address in iOS, open the Settings app. Then select Options in General Settings. Then select the About option and find the Wi-Fi address field. The value in this field is the MAC address. There are two ways to find the MAC address in Android. In the first method, open the Settings app, select Wireless and Networks, and then Wi-Fi settings will appear. Select Advanced, and the MAC address of the wireless network card will be shown. In the second method, open the Settings app, select About Device, and then Hardware info will be shown. Select Advanced, and the MAC address of the wireless network card will be shown. There are two methods of checking a user's duplicate site subscription information. In the first one, the CI value or connecting information is personal identifier information assigned by an ID verification service provider for service linkage. This information is used to distinguish individual users. An individual CI value remains unchanged even if the ID verification service provider is changed. In Korea, information can be viewed by sending an official letter to the NICE Credit Information Service. The second is the DI, or Duplication Information Value. This is the unique user identifier. And each company uses a different DI value for each individual. This information can be accessed on the Cybercrime Investigation portal of the Cyber Investigation Bureau of the Korean National Police Agency. Checking duplicate subscriptions does not allow us to know the personal details of the suspect. However, once we have identified the time when the suspect has accessed the internet site and the IP address used for access, a search and seizure warrant can be exercised against the site to obtain information on the owner of the account used by the suspect, including name, date of birth, DI value, and telephone number. Furthermore, even if we know the DI value, it does not translate directly into a resident registration number. That said, potential candidates can be queried to see if there is anyone with the same date of birth or name as the suspect. If there are two persons with the same name, their DI values can be extracted, and the person with a DI value matching the DI value provided by the company can be identified as the suspect. The branch where the withdrawal was made can be identified through the Cybercrime Investigation portal, as well as the website of the Korean Financial Telecommunications and Clearings Institute. In particular, separate analyses are needed for withdrawal information checks, withdrawal branch, location where the ATM is installed, and the number of the devices where the withdrawal was made. Resident registration numbers are also collected when deposits are made without a passbook. Therefore, multiple clause analysis are required. Furthermore, a cookie viewer program can be used to view the IDs and IP addresses used by the suspect to access various sites. Please note that many sites encrypt their cookies these days, and this information is often not visible. An automated vehicle number identification system uses a camera to photograph the license plate of a moving vehicle and automatically indicate on a computer terminal where the vehicle is wanted. The types of AVNI systems are fixed and vehicle mounted. The fixed type is installed and operated on major trunk roads and checkpoints. It has very high recognition rates during the day and also at night, and is able to identify license plate numbers within 1 second. It is able to operate under various environmental conditions and also includes self-diagnostic functions. The vehicle-mounted type is also able to identify license plate numbers within 1 second. It is more discreet than the fixed type and can photograph license plates without being noticed by drivers. To track a vehicle operated by a suspect, the request for information shown on the slide is forwarded to the Investigation Bureau of the National Office of Investigation. A response including a photo of the vehicle, wanted information, and the location of the CCTV identification system is received. The following relate to Internet tracking of patients with the National Health Insurance Corporation. Patient examination details can be requested from the National Health Insurance Corporation. In this case, we need a search and seizure warrant, not an investigation cooperation letter. The search and seizure warrant will be exercised against the Customer Support Office and Office of Insurance Benefits of the National Health Insurance Corporation. The object of search and seizure are as follows. In the Customer Support Office, the suspect's IP address in the examinee qualification system log records, and real-time location tracking details in the Office of Insurance Benefits. When tracking Gmail and YouTube cases, a subscriber's personal details, access log, and email contents can be requested. Requests should be addressed to Google Korea, Google's offices in each country, or Google Mail. The place of exercise of the search and seizure warrants should be Google Inc. The receiving email address is lisaparkgoogle.com, and the fax number is 1-650-640-2939. Requests should be drafted in English to facilitate the process. When Google replies to requests for information, it will only provide information on domestic IPs in most cases. To view email content, an international investigative cooperation procedure is necessary. We will go into further detail on tracking suspects through Google in a separate lesson. Our next topic is a tracking investigation on Twitter. Mention Map is a service that uses a Twitter API to analyze mentions made by a user or of a user and show a map of user relationships. Users of the location-based service Foursquare are analyzed to show current location. Tweet, made on Twitter, online communities, the user is subscribed to site linked by the user, and comments made by the user on blog posts. This analysis generates a social graph for the user. If a user's privacy settings limit access to their social media site access details to friends only, a corporation that uses unauthorized friend permissions or hacking techniques to access their profile and collect information is a communications network intrusion that exceeds legitimate access privileges. This can be seen as a violation of the Act and Promotion of Information and Communications Network Utilization and Information Protection, etc. We will discuss Twitter investigations in further detail in a separate lecture. Our next topic is a tracking investigation on Skype. The case in point is where a suspect threatened a father to send a video of him engaging in sexual intercourse to his daughter. The suspect made a video call to the father. In this case, a communications data request for the suspect's Skype ID must be prepared. This request is translated into English and sent to lerm@skype.net. And a reply containing the suspect's subscriber information is sent to the police email address of the leader investigator. We will now discuss Wi-Fi zones. Free public Wi-Fi services are offered at public welfare facilities, traditional markets, in public transit and other locations used by the general public. In Korea, public Wi-Fi services are provided in cooperation with the three major mobile communications providers KT, SKT, and LG U+. Let's assume a crime has been committed using Wi-Fi, or a suspect has been found to have used a Wi-Fi network. If the Wi-Fi network is that of a private access point installed in a home or office, the number of IP addresses that use the network is limited, making it easier to identify the suspect's IP address. However, if the Wi-Fi network is a public network installed in hospitals, cafes, convenience stores, and other public locations, the scope of investigation is broader. To identify the suspect, the Wi-Fi log records must be viewed. To access the Wi-Fi log directly, connect to the Wi-Fi network using the investigator's mobile phone. Then change the last value of the allocated IP address to 1. And enter the address into the address bar. This brings up the Wi-Fi administrator page. In most cases, the address is 192.168.0.1. Then, access the administrator account and select Advanced Settings, System Management, System Log. View the device access log and MAC addresses for the time of the crime, and request the search and seizure warrant. Under Object of Seizure, state the time and place. And the MAC address and connection details of smartphones that access the wireless AP's Wi-Fi network. Internet tracking investigation must be accompanied by real-time mobile phone location tracking. When the suspect's place of residence is investigated, note that 2G and 3G networks have different PN values. Using one 2G phone and one 3G phone, find the base station where the suspect currently is. Confirm the same PN value within 120 degrees for A, B, and G mobile phone base stations. If the suspect is in the same cell as the investigator, the suspect is currently in that location. Search homes and PC rooms around the suspect's place of residence, and look for the suspect's automobile.
Warrant for Internet tracking.
Next, let's look at the types of warrants for Internet tracking. First, a general search and seizure warrant is issued for searching homes and seizure of general articles. A search and seizure warrant for financial account tracking is issued for tracking financial transactions. A search and seizure warrant for electronic communications is issued for electronically communicating data, and a communication confirmation data warrant is issued for viewing call details and IP access logs. The object of search and seizure in a general search and seizure warrant for a site includes the following. First, its subscriber personal details and access records for the site ID to be tracked. Note that request will be dismissed by the public prosecutor's office if an IP address is stated and not the access log. Second, state any account withdrawal and deposit information that may be helpful in tracking. Payments made within a certain period, and mobile phone numbers registered with SMS notification services. Also, enter the CI values and DI values to confirm the subscriber ID used by the suspect and their site subscription details. In a case where the suspect's personal details are known, but the suspect's current location is unknown, the suspect can be tracked by using the suspect's CI value and DI value to request a communication confirmation data warrant. When drafting a communication confirmation data warrant request, clearly state the association between the suspect and the data requested. That is, it must be stated clearly who the mobile phone is registered to, who the DI value belongs to on what site, whether outgoing calls and base stations will be searched, and whether real-time location tracking is involved. Only if this information is stated clearly can we avoid the warrant request being dismissed. When the communication confirmation data warrant is issued, it can be exercised to secure log records of the suspect from various internet portal sites and game sites, and track the previous locations of the suspect. When real-time suspect access IP addresses are received by exercising the warrant, it is possible to track the current location of the suspect. When filing a request for a search and seizure warrant for financial account tracking, state the following: the banks where the suspect has accounts, the account holder and transaction period, and accounts accessed by known MAC address during the transaction period. Under object of seizure, request withdrawal and deposit details during the transaction period, CCTV footage of withdrawals made, the account opening application, and the mobile phone number by which SMS notification services were requested. Completed electronic communications refer to the records of or contents of completed electronic communications such as emails, social media activity, and messenger conversations. The requirements for a search and seizure warrant for completed electronic communications are the same as that of general search and seizure warrants. The only difference is that the electronic communications option must be selected when drafting the request for the warrant. This is an example of an email seizure warrant request. If the suspect's ID and password have been identified through cross-analysis of gambling sites, a search and seizure warrant for electronic communications must be requested. Here, under object of seizure, state emails and messages sent and received using a given email during a certain period. Access logs for the stated period and the subscriber's personal details. Emails and other information obtained using the warrant can be used as evidence. We all have an extensive digital footprint in our everyday lives. For example, let's examine a day in the life of office worker John Doe. He gets up in the morning, reads the news on the internet, then commutes to work by bus and subway. At the office, he works on the company's system. He uses a map service to find a place to have lunch, calls a client to request payment, and confirms payment with internet banking. On the way home, he goes on Facebook and Twitter on his smartphone. At home, he checks his Gmail and looks up some cameras on a search engine. His digital footprint for the day is as follows: computer usage records, internet usage records, CCTV footage when he leaves the house, transit card usage records, office clock-in records, log records on the company server, documents stored in the company server, restaurant search records, map search records, mobile phone usage records, internet banking records, smartphone usage records, Wi-Fi usage record, Facebook and Twitter usage record, Google search records, and email server records.
Summary. Let's take a look at the summary of this session. Cybercrime investigation. Multinational IT corporation assistance.
First, we'll consider international assisted crime investigations. Secondly, look at an overview of international cybercrime assistance. Thirdly, consider the introduction of teams dedicated to assistance for global IT corporations. Fourthly, consider the scope of data provisioned by major global IT corporations. Fifthly, consider the reasons for difficulty in assistance related to cyber defamation and insult. And sixthly, consider the corporations that require mutual legal assistance and detailed methods for data requests by corporations requesting data.
Understanding of cooperation for international crime investigations and international cybercrime investigations.
Child pornography sites operated by Koreans in their 20s and more than 330 worldwide users were uncovered. This was a result of being engaged in a cooperative crime investigation by more than 30 countries, including Korea and the United States, etc. More than 20 children who suffered damage by the users were also rescued. The uncovered Korean operators used the dark web and resorted to Bitcoin as a means of payment to avoid tracking.
미국 법무부가 아동 음란물 사이트에 대한 각부 공조 수사 결과를 발표했습니다.
I am pleased to announce the takedown of one of the world's largest child sexual exploitation marketplaces on the darknet. Welcome to video.
사이트 운영자는 20대 한국인입니다. 2018년 3월 체포해 아동 음란물 25만 건을 압수했습니다. 피의자는 그보다 3년 전 추적이 어려운 다크웹에 사이트를 개설했습니다. 또 가상화폐인 비트코인을 받고 음란물을 유통한 것으로 조사됐습니다. 서버에선 100만 명이 이용할 수 있는 비트코인 주소가 발견됐습니다.
Now we consider internal assisted investigations. This can largely be divided into mutual legal assistance and Interpol assistance. Mutual legal assistance refers to the procedure for requesting cooperation in evidence gathering, statement hearings, seizure, search and verification, etc. Related to investigations of criminal cases or trials through diplomatic channels based on the International Mutual Legal Assistance Act and Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty signed with individual countries. Korea has signed mutual legal assistance treaties with 75 countries worldwide, including 47 countries of the Council of Europe. Although there are advantages that assistance is also possible in matters accompanied by legal force, there is a limit as a means for prompt investigations since a few months up to a few years from request to reply are frequently required because it goes through diplomatic channels. The Interpol channel is a mutual cooperation channel for the exchange of information on international crimes and arrests as well as extraditions of criminals through the National Central Bureau installed in the investigative agencies of 194 Interpol member countries worldwide. Article 38 of the International Mutual Legal Assistance Act stipulates exchange of information and data. Second, same proof and criminal record inquiry. Third, fact check and investigation for international crimes as the scope of cooperation. Although direct and prompt assistance through the Interpol channel is possible with police of the counterpart country, the assistance usually allows random investigations rather than forced investigations requiring a warrant. And the scope of cooperation by country varies because it is based on the reciprocity between countries. The next topic is cyber international assisted investigation. Although cybercrimes that occur in a transboundary way in online space have evidence or investigation data located overseas more frequently compared with general crimes, they are characterized by needed faster international assistance since the volatility is high due to the characteristics of digital evidence. In addition, for the supplementation of existing assistance channels and securing of the data required for cybercrime investigations in a timely way, direct assistance channels with various law execution agencies and execution agencies and overseas corporations have been built by organizations and operated by dedicated personnel. For independent international assistance since 2000, assistance for overseas law execution agencies is in progress, such as signing MOUs, etc. regarding cybercrime cooperation with police agencies of the US, UK, France, Germany, and the Netherlands, and the assistance relationships are also being maintained with the National Police Cyber Departments of Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, etc. And as for assistance with global IT corporations, there are cooperation meetings and the formation of contact points with corporations such as Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Twitter, Mega, etc.
Over
Last and latest OS of logged in device, number of generated, shared links, etc. In the case of dormant or blocked accounts, records on downloads are not collected. Although temporary restoration of the account is possible by requesting Mega. For the specific method of requesting Mega account, please look at the screen. Among Mega's reply data, subscriber information includes: first, email address; second, reply generation time; third, account state; fourth, times for account subscription and final access; fifth, subscription country; sixth, fee system in use; seventh, number of links currently activated; eighth, stored capacity; ninth, link information; 10th, password change history; 11th, account email change history; 12th, detailed access records; 13th, restorable files. Among Mega's reply data, an additional description of 8th, stored capacity and number of files and folders within the account can be seen, while in number 9 link information, time of generation and use possibility status of the link can be seen. In number 11, account email change history, change time, and existing email account can be seen, while in number 12, detailed access records the use of Android, iOS, Windows, etc. An IP upon generation, country, initial access time, upon generation, etc. can be seen. We will consider detailed methods for data requests for Facebook and Instagram. Required documents for data provision requests include Caesar warrant, data provision request, and documentary evidence. The company's headquarters is in California in the US, and the services it provides include Facebook, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram. When a data provision request is made, Facebook requires one of first, user ID, second, user designated URL, third, email upon subscription, or fourth, telephone number upon subscription as an identifier. Requestable data includes subscriber information and IP access records. In the case of an overseas IP rather than Korean IP, although provision is not allowed in principle, IP access records can be provided for child sexual exploitation, terror, and body cam phishing. For the specific method for Facebook and Instagram accounts, please look at the screen. In the reply of Facebook and Instagram, subscriber information includes first, service name and account name. Second, reply generation date and data request period. Third, name set upon account subscription. Fourth, email upon account subscription. And fifth, account subscription date and time. First, IP address upon account subscription. Second, account withdrawal date and time. Third, mobile phone number upon subscription and self-certification date and time. And fourth, IP access record for the relevant account during the date request period. Detailed methods for data requests for Twitter will now be considered. Required documents for data provision requests include Caesar warrant, data provision request, and documentary evidence. Its headquarters is in California in the US, and the services provided include a network service based on short messages. Requestable documents are limited only to subscriber information and IP access records. Content information, such as other location information, post-it writing content, etc., can only be secured through mutual legal assistance of the Ministry of Justice and do not require warrant recording. For the specific method for Twitter accounts, please look at the screen. First, Twitter disclosure key. Second, English description of reply data. Third, telephone number. Fourth, IP access record. Fifth, IP upon subscription. And sixth, account information. If the telephone number information has the 82 country code, The domestic mobile phone number can be checked by attaching the number 0 to the number and excluding 82, while this is IP information used at login. This is IP at time of subscription. Account.text includes first, account ID, second, account generation date and time, third, client application used upon account generation. Fourth, username starting with @ fifth, profile name.